What's up, YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel Journey. I'm Shakira. So, just got done listening to ICT's advanced breaker theory. Awesome. Love it. Going to be back testing it a ton. Not doing any actual trading today, but happy to see, or semi happy to see, what I was expecting to price to draw back in on Friday come to fruition today, though we're seeing sluggish movement because we're about to hit a holiday, and then I think we have FOMC at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. So I'm going to sit it out and just back test. Not to mention I have some stuff I need to do for mom, so I'll this will only be for like an hour. So let's go. Let's get tiny. All right, so we're just gonna get our back testing on. And for a change, let's go look at the NASDAQ. Uh, Let's see if we could have traded that. Wow. That is, I gotta put them side by side. I really do. Because they sort of looked different on oh yes, sorry, wrong one. Yeah, the Nasdaq does look pretty. Let's do that. Change this to some bars. Let's do this for a hot second. I'm just curious. So Nasdaq had already taken out its highs by here. Oh, well, Nasdaq, I think Nasdaq had already reached into its volume imbalance right here. But ES just did it here. So that's fun. Oh, sorry, I'm doing this thing the opposite. Nasdaq had reached into its volume imbalance like here, and ES hadn't made it there yet by then. So Nasdaq being the relative leader. All right, well, let's head into our market or session testing now that we have more insights on the breaker. Actually, sorry. Let's grab a different day. Don't need any indicators. Let's hit the replay button here and just go close that. Stevie Wonder right click. All right, so where do we land? June 7th. Okay. So on the daily, where could we be rolling back into? So we have this daily FEG and discount on the daily, and I assume on the weekly, if we're going somewhere, we're reaching to something. Monthly, maybe. We see anything? Maybe we should be testing on the NQ1, the NQ1 explanation instead. Let's do that. Oops. Let's use this guy. So we can at least see where we're going, right? That's use that for back testing. And I wanted to be on the daily, and then we were hitting the replay button. Click. Replay. Click. Where'd we go? So we're here on the 13th of June, and we had all of this juiciness up here for buy side. I'm going to turn this on and jump down to like a 1 hour just so we can see the levels for lunchies. Let's go up to the highest. We'll zoom in on where they're trying to go here. So for all right, so just I'm sure. Come on, drop that buy side up there. It's obvious. All right. I want to see if it coincides with one of these lunchtime highs or whatever. This is from March 2022 high. What else is in the general vicinity on the daily here? We have some fair value gap juiciness up here to be considered as well. So I'm just going to draw this over. So a premium on that on the daily. Let's drop down to the 1 hour so we know where we're going. And so we're bullish, obviously. And we're looking at we want to see what we're going to do on the AM session. London had been decimated. Let's drop down to 15 minutes. So we're bullish on NQ, and this is a Tuesday. All right. PM session, London's been destroyed, and this low has been taken, which coincides with the New York PM session high. So they've already taken out all of that. So we have a to 5 minutes. Right. So from here, we have a low, lower low traded through, or do we look at this one? Low, lower low traded through. So we have a bullish breaker here. And this lovely wick to contend with as well. So on a bullish train, what time is it now? 9:55. And do we have anything juicy to play with? We have this, if I'm being honest, propulsion blocks here. Let's see. It's the top of this order block right here. Let's go bullish order block there. Coincides with the base of this propulsion block. So my general desire is to take a long from here with my stop below all of that. Too juicy for me. So let's drop down into 1 minute. And we have a shift here, come down. And let's see what 10 o'clock gives us, right? We're about to roll up into 10 o'clock to ride it back up and minimum over these highs, right? It's a lot, right? Maybe to here. That's a lot, right? That's a good grouping. So after that, we're just waiting for a nice juicy shift of some sort. Here's a short-term high broken. See if we get like distortion here. We do. Create it there. Let's see if we can't get an entry from here with a stop below here. Don't like it, but there we go. We're bullish, so we're expecting them. So we have a low, lower low. This is essentially like an advanced gap theory, whatever. So let's see. So I'm gonna buy here just for funsies. We know our stop's gonna be under here. That is rough as a jumping off space. So given all of that, when your entry would technically be here, or a stop below there. Let's see if it's enough to save us. Just want to make sure we get in on that fair value gap and see how well that plays for us. Oof, and then stopped out. I mean, ew. I get so where are we in this thing here? Because I don't know, maybe I'm having like a weird bullish thing on the day and I've lost my blasted mind. So I'm still feeling bullish. Ugh, that's gross. So we've hit the 0.25 of this thing. So maybe I'm just wrong. All right. So I'm wrong. Let's see what this continue on down. So it's definitely a very bearish day. Did I just forget where I was? I think I'm did I forget where I was in this grouping on this daily candle? I think I'm missing something. Expecting them to take so. All right. So what am I wrong about here? came to this order block right here. It's the AM session. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Okay, so I'm gonna buy here. I'm wrong. I should be buying down here. Stop on delete here, but let's see. Or it should be right here. Sorry, this is the first one. Missed it. So now some distortion. Let's see. I'm bullish, right? I've been bullish this whole time, but I'm wrong. So 770. If I flatten here just to get myself back into some sort of positive space here. Potential for re-entry if they choose to come back down. You know, just saving myself. Still in the 10 o'clock time frame. So let's do this, right? So if we get back down, we've got this one. This is the breakaway gap. I'm looking for something like this. That's a 88 ticks. I don't like that. So here we have that low distortion, lower low trading through. So I have a breaker up here. So I want something like that below the breaker. And assuming we're good there. So if it comes back down, I'd buy it there. Right now I'm just covering since I messed up. So tiny fair value gap right here. Let's see, coming back down into this one. This would have been a good place. Technically a good place for an entry right there. So I'm not going to hit the button, but or if it does come down and it gives me opportunity, then I'll do that. So my general expectation is to come back up into this order block, fair value gap at minimum, and go. Now ICT is talking about advanced gap theory. Once it took out this, let's see. So if it's a lower low traded through, let's see here. Top of that. So this coincides with that. So let's say we're trying to go there. All right. See. About it. I kept the other trade going, but it's not 1 minute, right? Order block. Now we do have another breaker here, here. Highest green candle, which is this one right here. So if I delineate that, like an entry would be there, I think. Okay. So if I were crazy, not crazy, but if I were to adjust my entry here, my stop would have to be below the breaker. So let's do that. And then write it up to that area I mentioned before. Let's see if that would work for me. So if I buy here on that, on the entering into this order block. Yeah, let's see. Tapping the order block one more time for another opportunity and going up. All right, sir. This is the New York AM session. We're still trading into, and I'm just looking for this fair value gap here. I have a decent return so far. We just tapped this. right there. So we're just expecting it to come up to this order block. All right, we've just dug into it right there. So technically, if I were, I could stop right there. Whoops, see how I tapped it? I could stop right there and not expect more. I mean, it's probably going to go up a little more, but this is a potential area for it to turn around. So I'm going to flatten and just take that. No, I just didn't wait for a proper. We had displacement. Just wait to see what it does around it. It does give us a little opportunities to think through what we're going to do, and yeah, it does shoot further into it, and then comes through. But I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay. I'll be okay with that. So let's look at the 9:30, right? So what did 9:30 do? 9:30, we dropped, and then where did we come back down into? Let's go back into a 1 hour, and let's take the session stuff off of it. Okay, so on the 1 hour, should have noticed it. We dropped into a fair value gap on the 1 hour, and then on the 15-minute order block with the fair value gap. So as a bent woman, see what kind of insane. Oof, that's rough. I don't want my 20 tick stop. That would have been okay. And this is like a nice bullish push. So I'm gonna go to the 1 hour and we're gonna move this forward for the lunchtime for 2 o'clock to give me something to work with. Okay, 2 o'clock. Let's put that in there. Okay, and let's see what this looks like. All right, where are we running to? Okay, so lunch hour, they took the lows out. They're going to take the lows out and roll back up. Still bullish. Where did they go to? Where did they go to? So low, lower low, traded through. If I were to, if I was a betting woman, I'd say they'd be hanging out in this bullish order block right here, which also coincides with this order block right here. And let's do 4. Let's take it off. It's a little bit of a fair value gap on the 4 minutes, so not strange for them to want to color outside the line to tap that. 3, 2, okay, and 1. All right, so this is the PM session. Where are we? 3 o'clock. All right, so let's just read between the lines here. So we took out this high out. We shifted through. We came back up into this bearish order block, then dropped. Could write it back down to take out these lows and into this breaker from earlier, right? So 2 o'clock, what's the first bearish order block that fair value gap that forms? This one. We want to wait for something a little bit more definitive. This guy took out these lows. I mean, honestly, I'm bullish, so I probably wouldn't have even taken the short, you know, full disclosure. But this would have been, let's see, right there. And then I'd want to be above the order block. Oof, I wouldn't have liked that. So I probably would have tried to take it from there, the order block, and then have my stop above it. It's like a $200 thing. And then let's see how it rolls back down into the breaker right there. 193, consequent encroachment, take out these lows right here. So from an aiming perspective, like once it took this low out, I'd probably um, do some aiming there. Let's see. Yeah, so 0.5 would take us about there, point 0.1 all the way down here. think they actually tapped it. So 221.5 would be perfectly acceptable. We would have been out at this candle right here. Once we saw this shift again, take it here and then drop. I don't know if we got an even better entry on the oh sorry, guess we can't get down to that level. But if we're looking only for longs, so once we came back down into this discount inside the breaker, and let's see, do you get like a more definitive shift here? Annoying, annoying. We shifted. Tiniest of fair value gaps right there. Technically, this shift here, fair value gap, if I'd taken, and I've looked to try and take this before, right? At the base of the breaker, do this below that low. Let's try and just keep it at 200 at most, like a tick below it. And then we start riding it back up, riding it back up. And from a higher time frame perspective, logical area, this order block right here as a target wouldn't have been so bad, right? Let's do some targeting here. Do we have a breaker in here that on the 1 minute we would missed, right? So so we have the low, lower low, we traded through. So technically we have a breaker here. I think, let's see, sell side taken. And then once we have the shift, yeah, it's breaker here. Fair value gap at the base of the breaker, not a bad place for an entry. So if we were to do some A, B, let's see, we're aiming upward. Look at that, 2.5 coincides with a higher time frame order block. Let's see here, right in there. So right there, that would have been good. And then let's drop in a 4, 3. So there's also a volume imbalance right in here that it coincides with. So tap that puppy right there. Beautiful. Got it here. And bad. Let's zoom in on this because we're looking for longs. I'm looking for it to come back down to a specific area. So once it broke out, shifted over here, nice. Fair value gap. We taken the long there, pushed inside the breaker, made sure that our stop was below this order block right there, 46. Would have had to deal with all of this annoyance right here. Or maybe it's outside of the breaker, this, and then that would have been a better play with the expectation to come up into that, what was it? 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes. I was looking for the volume imbalance again. Right there's a volume imbalance right there on the 3 minutes, which we reached into right there. Now, aiming for all of that, what would so about approximate halfway point, I would have moved my stop to break even here. And then once we broke the high here, then move my stop to under here. So new rules on what we can and cannot do. New rules. So halfway point, let's from our entry, it's right there. So then as I'm managing this thing, keep reminding myself, break even. So that's my stop loss would be right there, or some obvious spots, right? And then, so basically break even, like there. And then once we broke this high, broke it, so right here, not here, not here, not here, but here, patience, then I move it to under here and then wait for my take profit. Boom, done. Okay, like that. Gonna look around. All right, let's let's pick a different day and continue. All right, let's see what's going on. So I'm just gonna. This is what, Monday the 26th. All right, let's see what's up. So we were looking to pull into this daily fair value gap on a discount. We had this other juiciness right here. Let's see how we could have traded this day. We know we're pulling down into that, so we're bearish. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to go into the AM session here. All right. And so what is around it? Where are we on a higher time frame view, right? Bearish. So where are we driving up into? So New York PM high. Let me use 1 and let's take that off for a second. So we're driving up. We've got buy side here, times it 9 o'clock, and buy side here. So London's already been gutted. So let's do this. So buy side here. So we just took the buy side here per ICT advanced breaker, right? Buy side taken here, buy side taken here, and we're bearish. Let's assume we're dropping, right? We're just digging into a premium, okay? So what I want to see now, and this is a point where he's, you could be you could be buying. Hold on. Oh, this is the PM lunch high. Sorry, right there. Okay. So we've taken out all of this, and now it's 10 a.m. I want a reason to go short. So 4, just wait. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's zoom in here. It is now 10:03. Okay, so there's a fair value gap here. We have a bit of a shift, and we've taken out a bunch of stuff. I don't know if that's enough. I need a deeper gulp because there's still this buy side up here for them to take. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. All right. So this feels better to me. This is a better movement, and I can take a short like right here with my stop above this thing. That's a lot on the NASDAQ, isn't it? Wow. Okay. And then we're aiming to take out like that low right there, something like that. Let's see. It's a lot of movement, but let's see. Now we still have this buy side to take out, so I feel like they're still going to come back up and take it. So let's see. See here. We're diving in. Okay, let's say I'm crazy and I sell here. All right, I'm not crazy, but I'm seeing something I'm looking for. I have to deal with all of this distortion. Okay. All right, so let's take the shallowly. Took it again. Now I should have waited for this distortion, but now high, low, well, high, higher, high, traded through. the breaker right here. So I could have been buying in this general vicinity. So I'm not wrong where I bought, but you know, let's see. So now we're good. We have this thing here. If we were waiting on a proper break, base of this breaker right here with a stop above that would be the entry. So I'm okay for any sort of retracements here. Let's see. So that would have been the entry right there. If you're looking at the 10 the ICT, the ICT 10 a.m. silver bullet. That's where that would be. All right. So now once we take out, so if we're doing some aiming, this is point A and point B. So we'll do this, we'll drop that there, and we can do a little aiming. So one standard deviation is all the way down here at this order block right here. And that's plenty. Two standard deviations would take us below that, which is not bad. So let's see how they behave at the one standard deviation. Okay, oof, beautiful movements coming up on it. Oop, so order block right here. Now, in terms of trade management, I'm well into a nice little profit. We are about, we're just about to hit the halfway point to where we're thinking we're going to take some profit. So let's move our stop loss right there into right there for management purposes. Now, point 0.5, not a bad place. I'm at 947. I probably at my current stage would take that, right? As a quick and dirty, we've hit this order block. But I'm bearish. So potentially, let's see. We grabbing some more orders, we going back up. Okay. So honestly, like point 0.5, if we take out this low, beautiful. I'm ranging for that one standard deviation and then I'm flattened. All right, I'll take that. I'll take one standard deviation. That's a good haul for me as a beginner. And we probably go all the way down and give us, let's see, 1.5 is the retracement. I expect some stoppage here and continuation down. Let's see. Yeah. And this is when I would get that two standard deviation run. But I was expecting to come here, deal with this fair value gap, and then drop again. But one standard deviation with that entry on one contract, I'm good. That's beautiful. Now, did I miscalculate where the New York high was? Okay, so yeah, they did take it here. So if I was more aggressive, this is the previous PM high. If I was being more aggressive, then I could have been entering here and then dropping. It's not bad. Just out of curiosity, let's take a look at what this is doing. Yeah, it's just lackluster. I'm not interested in this price action right now. Okay, so we're bearish. We've taken our stuff. Let's drop back down into 1 minute. So we would have gotten all of that. Beautiful. All right. Those taken. So that's the AM session. Now the PM session, we're still bearish. What time is it? Da, da, da. So it could, this is like the strongest run. They might come take this out again and then drop. So let's see if they choose to do that for funsies to continue down lower into this daily fair value gap. That's what I'm thinking. So be looking for something to the something like that to continue back down like that. So let's see. So I'm just looking. So 1120. This is the strongest run. So I want them to take that out or at least come back up and then drop. So let's see how far up they go. He said 1150 to 12. Well, we haven't hit it yet. So now we're thinking about what we want to do. All right. 11:55. Okay. So lunchtime. Okay. So this is just a continuation then, not a run for liquidity. They've dipped into this on the 5 minute. So then they're just gonna probably continue on back. Let's see what this looked like on the 1 minute. I still don't quite understand the lunchtime run thing, so I won't be trading it. But it's one of those things where I would just, at this point, just try and figure out how it works. And then just later on, when I know what the heck I'm doing, then I deal with that. Okay. So we had a nice shift here, nice fair value gap taken here. Was this beautiful? We would have to deal with almost no drawdown on that one with your uh, right above it, the fair value gap, something like that. And then digging in, it's probably hit like sorry, that 0.25 or something level of this thing, halfway point. It hit the halfway point, and then we're thinking about it. So halfway point is pretty great run right there, if you ask me. I am still not swift enough for that, but whatever. So let's go up into the afternoon and let's do the 1 hour. So there's that. Let's do this. Okay, so the PM session just basically started. We have dug quite nicely. Oh, too far in. All right, whatever. Well, it's the 130, right? So we've dug quite nicely in. We've had a nice little shift. And if I were a betting woman, we could probably take a little long back up to here without too much drama. With the expectation, let's see if I'm wrong, because they could want to dig the rest of the way in here, right? That's too much of a thing for me to bear. With the expectation that they might want to take out the lunchtime high, like something like that, right? But let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so let's take a gander here. Let's zoom in. Okay, so here we have a low, lower low. We've got this, that, well, these two taken out, sell side taken out. They don't need to take that one out, I don't think. So that means we have a breaker at the top of this thing right here with an order block right in the middle of it. So my expectation, or is this time distortion? Low, lower, low, traded through. Okay, breaker here. Let's develop that. Oh, that's the rest of that stuff's distortion. I can have my stop below the breaker. Okay. All right, let's see what happens if they come back down or they use this and just keep going. So my expectations for them to come down. What time is it? It's about 3 or 4. So they're just coiling. So this order block with this fair value gap seems to be where they're holding things like evolving. All right, so they just came down to where I would want to take a long. Let's see the behavior coming into it. And then I would buy here. Let's see. If we get below here, then I would take my licks and move on. Once we take this out, then we can do some so if we don't leave this area soon with some alacrity, then I will take my licks and go on about my business. Okay. Mm, the lunchtime lows over here too, but I'm guessing we're going up to take out maybe not all of the lunchtime high. I will Once it takes out this high, I'll do some ranging. Mm, this doesn't look very promising if I'm being honest with you guys. Let's cycle. Hey, don't tell me. Okay, whatever. So I said it didn't look promising anyway, so let's flatten and just take our licks and be done with it. But as we watch this stuff, it's pretty strong. The other potential entry would have been here, but no more entries. I would be done and just take my money and go on about my business. 1 minute breakers. It didn't run away, which is what I wanted to see, which is the reason why I would have exited anyway, because I was like, I was just expecting it to like maybe take out like short term highs and coming up to here or something. But they do have all of this juiciness to play with. And the 350 macro, let's see how this thing runs because it is mean. All right, this 350 macro, I was looking for the zoom in thing. All right. So it's about to be 346. All right, so we're just going to reclaim the rest of this thing. 349, 353. Sometimes this thing just like shoots you in the face, this macro. And today, 357. Okay, so now we've dropped into it. I wouldn't be bothering with anything, just minding my business. It's a little dubious to take the long from here, but with this little bit left, but you know, you test out what you see, and then it's the end of the day, so we're done there. All right, let's see if we can do one more day of testing, and then so let's go back up to the daily, and it's a slow grind. I don't like it. So let's go back into NQ. Let's do a little cleanup. Let's pick another day. Let's do that. So the morning would have been the best option right there. All right, so let's do replay and let's pick this trending day right here. Right. All right. So below it, we have this fair value gap with the liquidity void. Let's just note the discount PD array. I'm just going to do liquidity void. It's a volume imbalance, but whatever. It's a combo. Liquidity void in here, volume imbalance, the rest of it. All right, so let's dig into this up trend. So we know we're looking for longs only. So we're 15 minutes. And let's get to the AM session right there. And let's see what we're working with. Alrighty, so what do we have? We have the London lows still in play. And the London high, sell side, has already been taken. We've got this to aim for. So let's note or buy side, which is, or let's just call it the New York PM AM high. Let's just call it buy side for now. So we have this buy side juiciness up here. And then for sell side, we have this PM sell side to play with on this is session low right there. And then the PM low would be all the way down here. But those are the pairs that I'd be worrying about. Okay, so 9:30 is dropped in 15 minutes. This is ugly. It's ugly, ugly, ugly. So on the 15 minutes, this is where I need to see what they're doing, right? So on the 15-minute, what have they been doing? They have been trading into this. Oh, sometimes it doesn't click. They've been trading into this order block right here. So I'm just going to go bullish order block right there. And let's specify that's on the 15 minutes. Okay. What's also inside of this thing, there is a value gap that they've been referring back to on the 15-minute as well. So let's do this discount. And let's specify this on the 15-minute as well. Right. And they haven't been going back to the halfway point or constant encroachment of that thing, but they also haven't taken out the body of this order block. So understanding that that's what they're doing, still bullish. Right. So still being very, very bullish, this order block down here. I would like an entry from there with a stop under there. And what are we aiming for? I mean, there's these highs, this high. Let's see where we can see how far up we can get into that. The buy side's all the way up here, which is where I think they're really going. Fair value gap right there, 4148.43. So let's see what we're doing in this general time frame, 944, 956. And 3 minutes. 2 minutes is all time distortion now. I'm learning to ignore most of the foolishness that happens in here. All right, so with all of that in mind, we're generally expecting something up here. That's what we're aiming for, and we'll be managing the trade. So right now, it's 9:15 left 5, 10 o'clock. So we're coming down. So if it comes back down into here, I'm gonna take buy right there. If it, oh, that good. I caught it before it moved. So that would have given me a nice little movement right there. All right. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Now, the ICT thing would say by here, let's stop under here. Given the back and forth of foolishness here, oh, I would have been stopped out, flattened, take my lickings right there. All right, so this is the order block on the 15-minute. They took the lows out for London first before turning around, is what I think. So I still think I want a reason to go long still. Okay. I want to turn this into an IO Fed. This is the 1 minute. Okay. I mean, they would have got me good right there. So I want a reason to go long. Okay. All right. So we have buy side take, sell side here, low, lower low, traded through. I could be buying. We're still inside this bullish order block that I did. I should have just, noted the whole of it, right? So now we have a shift here. Looking for entry back down to here. Let's stop below here. All right, let's see if they give us that. I'll buy there. I'll buy right there. And let's see if I get my face taken off again. Close. All right. Let's see here. So I've already been wrong once, but I want to go long. And it gave me, so I needed to take out, bust through this like it's going out of style. There we go. All right. Awesome. Awesome. So we're offsetting the original loss. Let's see if we can get up to there. So a halfway point. And before we do that, so if we're looking at this as a breaker, low, lower low, traded through, bullish breaker right here, AB. So let's do some estimations, right? How far can we go? So we're trying to take out these highs, 2 standard deviations is here. I'm expecting there's a fair value gap up here. I don't even have enough standard deviations to make this work. So let's add, so it's -3. Let's go -4. Let's go -5. And let's go -6. So which ones like correlate? Oh, heck yeah. So obviously we're going to buy side because we have some correlation up here. So halfway to what I want, which is a lot. All right, so let's see how we behave. So we're already in a good place. My stop would be moved at once we get to the halfway point. So we're just doing some aimings. That's uh, halfway to where we want to go is approximately about here. So once we get past that, so let's see how price behaves. Right, right gap. Coming back down to this order block, top of the breaker. I would expect it to turn, continue on up. Okay, still respecting that order block. Okay, all right. So if we get past here, I will close. Okay, still respecting it. All right. So we're still, this is what's holding everything together for me, along with the fair value gap that's attached to it. If we don't close the, I'm looking at the wicks right now. The wicks are telling me that they're not trying to go lower. We're just scaring folks. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Now, two standard deviations is usually more than enough for me, right? So we're here. It's usually more than enough. But since we're doing a hypothetical here, and I just want to see the halfway point. So my entry was here, and we're looking for something all the way up here, right? So the halfway point, we've hit that here. All this bullshit distortion, right? Not weird for them to come back down again. All right, so we just moved the halfway point. So what I'm going to do at this point is move my stop to break even right here. Stop loss. All right, so we're well into a nice juiciness. It's not strange for them to turn around. Okay, to take some orders up because look, so now we're at here. We need to get back into, where is this? Where's the top of that thing? Is this thing? Okay, now you can take that off at the moment. We know we're coming up here. Um, let's delete this and click here. So if I'm using this as a premium discount, it's not strange for them to want to come back down into a discount, right? But closing anything, if they don't turn around from here, right, then I would be very most unhappy. Okay, see if I'm right. It's not looking very good for me. We're back at that order block though. They've dug deeper into it. So should I have taken at the point two? Looks like it. This behavior, order block digging further into it, still bullish though. It's the lunchtime, most energetic run. Coming down, order block. Let's see. I mean, it's be painful to run through, right? So wouldn't it be better than to just take your profits where you think they might turn around and then re-enter again? That could be like a model, right? But here I am expecting this behavior right now, which is beautiful. So we've gone into a premium. I want them to run now. Okay. So we have a low, lower low, traded through, breaker. My preference now is for them to, the breaker to support and for them to go. Okay. See. Now I don't know what happened on this day, so I'm literally just, so once we break above this high now, I move my stop up to a nice respectable amount, right? So we're about halfway up. We've done this annoying retracement. I don't expect them to come back down. So I'll move my stop to about here under all of this. I expect them to continue moving up, right? Right. So I'm locking in most of my stuff here, but I'm gonna leave my stop right there. Supported block right here. It's okay for them to tap fair value gap. I don't want them to break below that. I want them to continue up. It's okay for them to hang out in the order block, but at most they can tap it and go, right? So once they break above this high, I'm gonna move my stop to under here as well. Okay. Still inside the order block, so we're okay. Okay. So still, ooh, they broke below it. Mhm. So this is where I would just say, I have a respectable amount here. I'm offsetting that. I want to go up here. Where are they digging to? Right? Here we have that high. I'm going to say last line of defense. I'm watching how they're behaving inside of this fair value gap that I've denoted and just wait, right? And once they take out this high, I'm going to move my stop up because they shouldn't need to return, right? Looking for an inversion fair value gap there. They've tapped the top of that. So I don't want to give up much of what I've got, right? So let's see what they do. Okay, come on, use it as support. Bye. Hmm, what time is it? It's the 12:15, right? 12:20. So it looks like it's turning into support. So let me just flatten and take my gains from there and be happy. Let's go up to the 5 minutes. It's a lot of BS distortion right here. It's okay because in this general vicinity, I've got I have one more standard deviation in profit for that, so I'd be okay. Probably going to continue up as expected, but I don't want to sit through it. It's lunchtime, and let's just see how we get up there. So we had correlation between the analytics, so we expect it to probably reach up into PM session, like gives us the whole of that. Beautiful, beautiful. So once it broke that high, like I said, I would have moved my stop. And this high kept it going, but it's all good. Something that I'm gonna have to learn to grow into with time. All right, so it's about that time where I'm gonna need to call it quits. Let's take a quick gander at what's happening here. Foolishness is what's happening. I'm happy I'm back testing. Um, so I have a lot of back testing to do, but I'm feeling a lot better about what I'm doing. So until next time, you guys have an amazing day. If you're in the US, enjoy 4th of July and be safe out here. All right, Shakira.